Why are these 10 major U.S. cities so empty? When people think of large American cities, they often imagine crowded sidewalks, busy streets, and dense urban neighborhoods. And in some cases, like New York City, San Francisco, or Boston, that image holds true. These cities are famously packed, with New York having a staggering population density of about 27,000 people per square mile, San Francisco around 17,000, and Boston roughly 13,000. However, not every big city in the U.S. fits that mold. Take Chicago, Illinois, for example. It boasts a population of around 2.6 million, much larger than Kansas City's roughly 510,000 residents. Yet while Chicago has a fairly high density of about 11,400 people per square mile, Kansas City sits at only around 1,600 per square mile, 7 times less dense. And Kansas City is just one example. Across the U.S., several well-known cities have surprisingly low population densities, meaning they're much more spacious than people might assume. In this video, we'll look at 10 notable U.S. cities that are large in area or name recognition, but strikingly empty when it comes to population density. These cities were selected based on their significant land sizes and status as recognizable urban centers. 10. Tucson, Arizona. Despite a population of nearly 547,000, Tucson has a surprisingly low density of 2,267 people per square mile, making it one of the least densely populated major cities in the country. This is due in large part to its large land area of 241 square miles and ongoing urban sprawl. Interestingly, Tucson's population density has actually declined by 1.15% over the past decade. The city's layout is very spread out, which dilutes the concentration of its population. This sprawling design may explain why the city feels so empty, even with a moderate population. However, Tucson's relatively low density has also made it attractive for people seeking more open space, potentially offsetting some of that decline in the long run. 9. New Orleans, Louisiana. While tourists often imagine New Orleans packed with people during Mardi Gras or bustling in jazz clubs, the actual resident population tells a different story. With around 369,000 people living across 169.5 square miles, the city's density comes in at just 2,181 people per square mile, far lower than many assume. A major contributor to this low density is the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina in 2005, which displaced nearly the entire population. The city's population plummeted from about 450,000 to 208,000 the following year. Though recovery efforts brought that number back up to 340,000 by 2010, the effects are still visible today. Beyond natural disasters, high crime rates also discourage residency. A recent Wallet Hub ranking listed New Orleans as number 14 in the nation for homicides, which likely continues to impact population growth and density. 8. Memphis, Tennessee. Memphis is another large city with a surprisingly sparse population layout. Although the city is home to approximately 620,000 people, it stretches across 297 square miles, creating a relatively low population density of 291 people per square mile. While Memphis has seen a 6.5% increase in density since 2010, its overall population has started to decline in recent years. Local moving companies suggest that crime is a major reason why people are leaving. In fact, homicide rates tripled in Memphis in 2023, bucking national trends. Other reported reasons for outmigration include limited job opportunities and rising poverty levels. A study by the Milan Institute ranked Memphis 135 out of 200 U.S. cities in terms of job growth, wages, and housing affordability, indicators of a weakening economy. 7. Tulsa, Oklahoma. Located in one of the least densely populated states in the country, Tulsa has a population density of only 285 people per square mile, despite having over 412,000 residents in a land area of 197.5 square miles. Unlike Memphis, Tulsa's population is steadily growing, partly thanks to innovative initiatives like Tulsa Remote, a program offering $10,000 and other benefits to remote workers who relocate there. However, increased population has led to a few growing pains. For instance, homelessness has risen by 6.6% in 2022 and has increased every year since 2015, except for a brief dip in 2021. 6. Virginia Beach, Virginia. Though Virginia Beach feels packed in the summer thanks to its 13.6 million annual tourists, its year-round population is relatively small, around 455,000. With a land area of 244 square miles, this results in a population density of just 1,862 people per square mile. The density has been increasing slightly by 2.45% since 2010, but it still remains one of the lowest among large U.S. cities. Interestingly, despite having a similar land area to New York City, which houses over 8 million people, Virginia Beach's population is less than 1/20th of that. 5. Kansas City, Missouri. Kansas City has a population of just over 500,000, but covers a significant land area of 315 square miles, resulting in a density of 1,619 people per square mile. While the city's population density has increased by 7.54% since 2010, most of that growth has occurred in the surrounding suburban areas, not the city center. In fact, the downtown area has been experiencing a decline. One reason for this could be high crime rates. In 2020, Kansas City had the 8th highest violent crime rate in the country. Sites like Niche currently give it a crime rating of C-, which can deter prospective residents. 4. Nashville, Tennessee. Like Virginia Beach, Nashville feels more crowded than it actually is, thanks to its booming tourism industry. The city welcomed 14.4 million visitors in 2022 alone. However, its residential population remains under 700,000, and the city has a relatively low density of 1,456 people per square mile. Despite its low density, Nashville has seen one of the fastest growth rates in the U.S., with population density increasing by 10.77% since 2010. However, this rapid growth has brought challenges. Rising housing costs, longer commute times, and low-performing public schools have raised concerns among locals. In a recent poll, 51% of public school parents gave the school system a negative rating, although that's an improvement from 62% the previous year. 3. Jacksonville, Florida. With over 970,000 residents, Jacksonville is the most populous city on this list, but its vast land area of 747.3 square miles, roughly 3/4 the size of Rhode Island, means it has a density of just 1,300 people per square mile. The city feels more packed than it is because of the 22 million tourists who pass through each year. The influx includes 28,000 overnight guests and 30,000 day visitors every single day. Despite its current low density, Jacksonville's numbers are on the rise. The city's population density has gone up 10.75% since 2010, and the overall population has grown 18% over the past 12 years, suggesting that its empty status may not last much longer. 2. Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. With a current population of around 694,000, Oklahoma City has a density of just 1,146 people per square mile, spread out across a massive 606.5 square miles. Despite a 12.53% increase in density since 2010, the city remains one of the most spatially empty urban areas in the nation. Like Tulsa, it benefits from its open layout, but also faces some serious challenges. A recent report ranked Oklahoma as the second worst U.S. state to live in, citing issues like extreme weather, drug abuse, lack of health insurance, and homelessness. These factors likely contribute to why its population density is so low. 1. Anchorage, Alaska. At the top of this list is Anchorage, a city that truly defines empty space. With a population of around 287,000, spread over 1,706.9 square miles, Anchorage has an extremely low density of only 168 people per square mile. This is partly due to Alaska's overall remoteness. It's the least densely populated state in the U.S., with just 1.3 people per square mile. Anchorage also faces unique challenges. It's isolated, expensive, and offers limited job options outside traditional industries. In fact, Alaska ranks as the fifth most expensive state to live in based on its cost of living index, making it difficult for many people to settle there permanently. Final thoughts. While population size often grabs the headlines, land area and population density tell a more nuanced story. From cities impacted by natural disasters and crime to those spread out over vast territories with low housing costs, each of these 10 American cities illustrates that big doesn't always mean crowded. In some cases, their emptiness might even be what makes them appealing. For now,